So now you all are business owners. How'd you guys get there?
Whew.
Because I always support his crazy. Okay? That's how we got there.
Definitely supporting the crazy for sure.
2007, we worked together. We're both still in college. This is pre-marriage. And we worked at a boys detention center. Mm-hmm. We were both also spoken word poets at the time. I did some poetry, but I was mostly a singer. But yeah, poets at the time. And so he started a spoken word poetry program at the detention center with the boys. They loved it. It blew up. And then he says, babe, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. I want to teach people to use spoken word poetry as a coping skill.
And just to interject, like when I came to college, I told you all I was angry, resentful, all of these things, and even aggressive towards friends. And a couple friends, they tried to get me to rap, but my man Cyphice and James.
There's songs out there.
Yeah.
If you find them.
Please don't find them, all right? So they were like, I saw Def Poetry Jam, and I was like, oh, I want to do this. And I remember just writing a poem, and the release I felt from the hurt and pain, that's what I used the poetry for. It was like, this is a release from hurt, this is a release from pain, this is a release in itself. And I just started performing at the talent shows and everything at Iowa State. And somebody even challenged me, one of my friends, Andrea, she challenged me to write a book. She was like, you want to write a book though? I said, yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
And I ended up writing an entire book while I was in college.
Yeah.
And from there, I just noted the release I felt. So when I went into the detention center, well, even more so, like you were just writing them on the page.
Yes, I had books on books of poems.
And so after the detention center, I'm like, I want to do this. We could do this. So here's the first idea where I'm like, babe, we could take over the world doing this.
Every Pinky in the Brain was a common conversation our relationship.
For sure. What are we going to do today, Pinky? The same thing we do every day. Try to take over the world. So
happy I was gonna take control of me, but eventually reality hit me mentally, physically, emotionally. I opened my eyes and realized that I was still being taken for a constant ride on you.
So I'm like, we could do this, and I'm gonna be words, and cause you sing, you could be melody. So we have footage of, you see wifey doing her singing, and I have a poem to go with it, and all of that stuff, and you start seeing it, and people are asking us, they're flying us out, and we're traveling, and we're performing, and it was great. That's how it started.
That was the birth of Words and Melody.
Yeah.
Then he says, I want to make it a business.
Yeah, for sure.
And we are going to go out into the community. So in 2008, we create a company called Wisdom Beyond Words.
Yes.
And we start taking our spoken word poetry program to different companies.
Yeah.
We do that. It gets picked up.
She had typed up a proposal.
We had a proposal. We had the whole thing.
Going to random.
Every school.
Yeah.
Every school, every community organization, all of that. We have one that picks us up about 30 miles from where we actually lived.
Yeah.
We got with them. They blew the thing up and expanded it. From there, so we did that for years. Yeah. And then from there, a friend of ours who was with us at the detention center started
before there, we started doing, did we start doing our events before or after that?
It was during the same time.
Okay, so we started even venturing out and saying, like, I want to do events now. Yeah. So now I'm doing events around the community. And first, you were working, so you were kind of on board. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing these events, and I'm bringing artists in, I'm performing, and you would think, because you see people in there, and you're like, why aren't we making any money on this thing?
Oh my gosh.
Though? And I'm a creative, so I just had a heart for just
people getting in free,
serving.
Like,
right?
it was all time. I said, we got 200 people here, and we literally are in the hole.
We're in the hole.
And he's serving a whole meal. He done brought a chef in.
I'm paying for all of it out of our pocket.
I said, sir, this is not gonna work.
And I'm like, babe, I need you to get involved. And this is again, I want to go back to even with Wisdom Beyond Words. I'm doing the poetry, I'm performing, I'm traveling. We even drove to Atlanta. I went to New York, like all of these things. We did the Donald Lawrence show where we were driving to Chicago. We doing all of these things, but it wasn't until I'm like, I need the detail-oriented part. So now you prepare a proposal. Now we're going around to companies, and now we get accepted, and we actually have real contracts with companies. So I do the events. I can get the stuff started, and then now you come like, all right, we need a list of names. We need you know what I'm saying? We need a list of names. We need this. We need to have this, and we need to have this in place. And then you start to see profit come in from the events. It's like, okay, all right, now we're on to something.
So from there, events continued. Then a friend who was back at the detention center with us, fast forward years, was like, hey, I'm in the schools now. I'm a teacher. I want you to come and do the poetry workshop in the school. Like, we want to get you in the schools in the city that we were in. Because we were not in schools yet. We were only in community organizations. For sure. And so he then came on and worked with the school district. So he goes from they had no poetry programs in the elementary or middle school levels. He went from none to 21 within a year. Like, he established that entire program within the elementary.
Everybody wanted it. It's called Half Pints Poetry. Everybody wanted the program. The middle schools didn't take it on, and we're doing competitions, and it was super dope. It was super dope.
Crazy. So he's doing that, and then we get the new crazy. He says, in the midst of doing that, after doing that for some years, he's like, babe, I think I want to go all in on me. I think I want to do webinars.
Well, before that, I joined a network marketing.
Oh, yes. I completely forgot network marketing. That was
crazy. We were winning.
We were winning. He was doing a 4 a.m. call every day.
I'm talking about when we were doing network marketing, it got to a point where I was building my team, me, my guy, Rashard, Ferran, Daisy, all of us. With my circle, we're building a team. This is the first time I'm making money from network marketing. Wifey is coming. We're traveling. We're going to different events. And at that point, when I built a funnel, for Rashard. And when I saw, he was like, man, I got this guy from so-and-so. I think Suriname was it or something like that. And he's on the team. This. I said, I got to go all in on me now. And I'm about to do this. I'm about to do this webinar thing. And the way I got the webinar thing is because, you got to understand. In the story, she told y'all about us losing our home and all these things. So this was throughout this thing, right? But now we have some stability, and I'm about to try to take away that stability by trying a new venture. I'm about to go all in on me. And I start seeing this young lady, Kimber Luna, talking about, oh man, I made $60,000 in a day. I'm like, what the heck did she do? So boom, I get on her webinar, and she's teaching people how to launch products through webinars. And I was like, babe, this is what I need to do. It's $2,500. We don't have $2,500. Maybe we have $1,000 or something. I text her and I'm like, babe, I need to sell our furniture.
Crazy. He sold all the furniture in our living room. We had just a treadmill in the living room.
I sold couches, love seat, kitchen table,
and he would
chairs.
try to sell my treadmill that I got for free from the apartment complex. You're not selling my good treadmill.
Sold it all. And now I have this skill set. Webinars, I know funnels, I know all of this stuff. And I can now implement it inside of this network marketing business. And from there, when I see that we're growing teams and all of that, I said, boom, I'm about to do this for me. And that's when and I guess this is the last part of this story, but it was crucial, this moment, because this is around the same time Terry Frazier hits me up. And because you said I was doing the videos every day. Well, for that network marketing company, y'all, I was doing morning motivation videos every single day for them.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where everybody was bringing their teams on there, and all the high ups knew me. Even the CEO reached out to me and started sharing my stuff. He jumps on one of my Zooms and big ups me and all of those things. And I'm like, damn, I'm blowing up. So Terry Frazier sees my morning motivation videos. He sees them. Mm-hmm. He gets a job at Michigan State University.
Yeah.
He tells E, I got a guy that's doing what you're doing.
E is Eric Thomas, E.T., the hip hop preacher.
The number one motivational speaker. It just so happens this happens at around the same time I'm ready to be out and transition anyway. He tells him, I remember I'm about to text E. She's like, just text him. I'm like, I don't know, what do I say?
He was so nervous. Like, why are you nervous to say, hi, I'm Words Taylor? Because also Words and Melody then had to transition. They kept going into the world, right?
Sure.
So he's always Words. I came back to Julanda.
Yeah.
Melody is on some of my stuff, but I am Julanda.
Yeah, but that was Donald Lawrence. Donald Lawrence said, if you're going to be words all the time.
Yeah. And so he got this text. He got Eric Thomas's number to text. He's like, well, what do I say? Hi, it's Words Taylor. I got your number from Terry.
I wrote this whole message. My man didn't respond. And so I didn't start texting him every day for like 3 months.
Because E.T. had put up some videos saying that he was up at 4 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
And so he started getting up again at 4 a.m. every day. Because by this time he had stopped doing those 4 a.m. calls for the network marketing.
Yeah.
So he started getting up again at 4 a.m. every day just to text him and would come lay back down in the bed.
For sure.
And one time he wakes me up and says, babe, he thumbs up my text. I said, did you just wake me up out of my REM sleep to tell me you got a thumbs up on the text?
Yeah.
That's not what we gonna do.
I said, yo, he's saying so much. You don't even get it.
I was like, that's not what we
he's
gonna do.
talking back to me.
I was heated.
So when that happens, he then is having an event in Chicago. And I go, I tell him like, yo, I'm gonna come to the event. And now we're texting every morning, like every time
He finally started talking back.
Yeah, like, he was already talking about it. So my man is responding every single time now. And we go there and it's a crazy experience. We learn about the DISC assessment, and that opens us up, like our business up, because now I'm like, oh, I know how to use you. I know what you're gonna do in the business, babe. And it was the administrative part, which she was already doing, but that part took us to a whole different level. And so we ended up joining his community, and the community was called
Extreme Execution.
Extreme Execution. We joined Extreme Execution. I'm telling you this because you asked how we got into it, right? So we
It's a little long-winded. It's okay.
It's okay, but y'all want to know these details, right? We joined Extreme Execution, and once we joined Extreme Execution, I started making it a point to do what I do, and that's teach. So I'm teaching these people about funnels because I'm so excited. That's what I do with my. If you're around me and I know something, like I'm gonna teach it. I'm gonna give you what I know, and I started doing that, and then we get the first call. Well, let me say this: I also was doing webinars on my own at that time, and I made like my first $5,000, and I was like, oh my God, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, I'm an entrepreneur.
I made money.
I'm an entrepreneur.
I got a community with 3 people.
But I'm an entrepreneur. And
so those people are still with us today, though.
For sure, they're now on the team.
Yeah.
So you go from that to now I come in this community. I'm teaching y'all like I'd have made $1 million.
Hold on, you left off an intricate part. So when we went to Chicago in 2019, that's actually where we met Reggie.
That is
no, we met you in Philly.
Yeah, we ain't get Reggie. Yeah. So we go there. We're in Chicago. We do that, and I'm teaching these people because this is the information I know. And then ET's operations reaches out to me and says, hey, he said, can you do a launch for him? The same thing you're teaching on. I said, I sure can. Yes, we can. So we're about to do the launch. They send the contract over. They send it to both of us. And this girl right here, I'm like, babe, we got ET. It's gonna be our first big client, first client. I knew this was gonna work. All of this stuff. She sends the contract back. That's not it. Doesn't work. And now she's also addressing colons and commas and all this stuff. And all of she's like,
exaggeration.
That's not what it says. That's not what it's supposed to be. I'm like, oh my God. Like, let's just lock in. They send the contract back. Okay, Mr. Taylor, we made the corrections. No, you still didn't. She sends it back. I'm like, whew, oh my God. So after this exchange, they finally say, well, let's get on the call, because obviously, you know, you all want a different price. They wanted to pay us a certain amount. I'm like, but I'll just take this amount. I know what's gonna happen once we lock in. We get on the call, and so many words. Wifey says, it was like, yeah, so we really want to do it at this price and this. And she was like, well, no, I understand. We won't be able to do that, but maybe you all just not ready to work with us right now. Yo, I squeezed this part of her leg so hard. I'm like, what are you talking about? We are ready.
You have to know your worth, and you have to be willing to stand on business. If you are not meant for me, then someone else will be.
They was meant for us though.
Right, okay? And that's why it worked out.
Right. We got off, Reggie, we got off that call. I was like, I don't even remember what I said. I just know I was frustrated. 24 hours later, they hit us back and was like, hey, let's do the deal.
Here we go.
We did the deal. The first launch, we made right under 6 figures with it. We had already got our payout. I remember my wife coming over to the desk where I was the night of the launch. She was like, "You're so amazing. You did it. All this stuff." And I just remember like, oh my God, you know. And so he calls me. He's like, "Yo, let's do it again." And this time, I say, how much you want to make in a year with this program? He's like, yeah, let's do $1 million. I said, let's do it, but this time I want a percentage. And we contract that out. We have to go. This time I'm like, hey, do your thing. I'm not jumping in anything. Do it. And we get the contract, and we end up doing like 1.2 or something that year with them. But the dope part about that is from that came David Shands was in that community, and I do a launch with David Shands. So I was able to meet him, and now I have, David Shands, the first thing he says, like, well, who have you worked with? I said, Eric Thomas. He's like, all right, bet, let's rock. You got Tiffany Haynes in that community where, you know, and that's
she was the operations.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's my dog. So we start working together, and then Rochelle T. Parks is in that community. Dewan Mutunga is in that community. You have all these people that I did start to partner with, and even Nikki Saunders is in that community. We're doing lives together, and it's like in that community, I'm doing this, and then everybody that I work with are now promoting us as these are the go-to people for the launch. David Shands is like loud with it. Like, no, my boy Words, go to him. And then he's like, Words, go to Words.
From Dave, I think that's how you got connected with Him 500.
Him 500. Dave does a live with me. Him 500 reaches out to me after the live. It's like, yo, I hear you the guy to do the challenges. I mean, do the launches. We do it. And then from there, Justin Phillips from Support Black College. And then more and more start coming.
All of Atlanta.
Yeah. But
all of Black Mecca came.
That's how we got started, and it just grew. But it started with this idea of me just doing poetry, and I just allowed evolution to happen. I will say there was one key moment that we didn't necessarily touch on. We put in a lot of work. When we talk about traveling and going in the community, random companies and giving our proposal and all of those things, that same strategy is what we even use with E. There was a point when we were in E's community, and my man said, well, if y'all ever need anything from me or videos or anything like that, let me know. I'll be in videos with you. I hit him up, was like, yo, I would love to be in a video with you. And he's like, cool. I'll be in Flint, Michigan. We drove
8 hours
to Flint, Michigan
for one day
to do 20 minutes of content with them. And we were about to leave, and he was like, yo, I got some entrepreneurs coming. Would you want to teach them? I said, bet. Because remember, in his community, I was already teaching. He's like, teach them some stuff. I said, bet. I started teaching them. He's like, all right, cool. We dap up, we leave, and we go right back home. I'm telling you all, I want to say like 4 or 5 days later, I get texts from people that are like, hey, you're gonna be speaking at ET's event?
Yeah.
And I was like, what event? He got an event in Philly that's called Verified. You gonna be speaking? I said, no, I'm not. He didn't tell me anything.
Hadn't heard anything.
Nothing. And then my man sent me the clip of ET announcing on his podcast. Oh, I got this guy, Words Taylor. He's gonna be at Verified. He's teaching.
I love it. And then we got this guy. I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it yet, but Words, and Words, y'all, not only lost 60 pounds. I think he said he wants to lose another, maybe 100. But not only did this guy blow up, he blew up. Y'all got to hear this. He's going to talk about, just the baby steps he took in terms of social media, click funnels, etc. This dude was like, I was in a weight loss, battle of my life. And I blew up even with my weight loss. So for a lot of you, it's like you thinking, oh, I can't do it because I'm like, nope, my man was like 300 something, maybe even bigger. And while he was losing weight and fighting with that battle, still became one of the top, young speakers or online presence, in the nation right now. So it's going to be people like that coming talking about literally what they did to get from where they were, where they wanted to be, to where they are now. So, and I'm gonna put his pick up on so you guys can see him. But I promise you, S2S podcast, this thing is gonna be fire. You're gonna get real nuggets. Come with your pen and your pad, with your heart open.
I text Eli, yo,
I'm teaching.
He's like, yo, can you do it? Absolutely. And I go there, and now I'm on stage with ET. And that was good. We meet Reggie there.
Yeah. Reggie been with us ever since.
Every since I got was from my man Words, and it wasn't something that he said. It's just I kind of had like a mindset shift in me. And I told him, I said, I do these videos. I started doing videos maybe a couple of months ago, but I may do like a 2 to 5 minute video. But to see you get up here and talk for about an hour and a half, this is the level I'm trying to be at. And to see him do that at a high level like that, that's inspiring. So I hope we get to connect. We spoke a little bit. I hope we get to connect. So that was just incredible, man.
I said to wifey, because I had already been saying when she brought me his videos in the basement, I said, watch.
I'm gonna work with ET.
I said, I'm gonna work with ET. I said, I'm gonna work with ET. And then after I got off that stage, I said, Operation Get Money with ET. I'm gonna get money with ET. And so after that event,
that's when he reached out for the launch.
That's when he reached out for the launch. We did the 1.2 million with him, and then we just had a whole bunch of other clients to come out of that. And that's how our business.
I would say this is definitely a God thing. Like God has definitely taken us on this journey. Sure. And we've always kind of, even though I say I support your crazy, I think it's more so supporting God's direction within you into where we should go. I think as businesses started to crumble and fall with COVID, we thrived. And I think that was because of God. Yeah. That was nobody but God. And even still now, we went through a health incident, and so therefore the business did suffer with that. Yeah. But once you got back to health, it's done nothing but thrive. So God has a plan. God said this thing, it has legs, and I'm taking it where I want it to go. And we trust and believe.
Yeah, no, this has been an incredible journey. And I want to say this is why it was important for us to do this podcast, because I feel like in our relationship, and this is not to minimize the things that other people have gone through or to say we've had it the worst, but in our relationship, we've been through a lot of ebbs and flows that people will experience. So it's dope for us to now be able to teach and do a podcast from an experience that we've now overcome.
Absolutely.
And that we're thriving in, instead of from theory.
All right.
So we've experienced like what it feels like to take pregnancy tests and get negative after negative after negative, and having to go take the brown paper bag, or betrayal, or delay, or losing homes and water being shut off, going to checking the cash,
losing
cars being what do you call it? Repoed, and all of that. We've experienced all of that, and yet we're on the other side of it.
Absolutely.
Did success ever distract you from real healing?
You think so? Let me answer first, it doesn't really matter. You can answer.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say, one, that depends on.
I don't think it distracted you.
I was gonna say that depends on what you define success as. Success looks very different for me than what it does for my husband. Yes, I'm in the business, but that doesn't mean success for me. Money in my account doesn't mean success for me. I look at a more holistic approach to everything, and I'm always seeking balance.
Right.
So for me, it's like a day of success is I was able to do things for my kids. I was able to get up in the morning and help them get ready and do all of that. I was able to spend some time with God. I was able to focus on me and do some healthcare, fitness stuff, some Bible study time. I was able to connect with my husband, maybe hug, kiss, have a brief conversation.
Sex. Yeah.
I was able to dibble and dabble in business, maybe do some emails, do some different things like that. And I was able to get to bed on time, right? I was able to still meet any meetings or after school commitments that I had with the kids. And then I was able to get to bed on time. Like my on time is 8:30, 9 o'clock. So
that's her healing.
That's my healing.
Yeah,
and that's my success, right? Yeah. So in that, no, the business never distracted me. There was a period where, because my husband is business focused and driven. So he would push and encourage me to do more in the business, and I tried. And when I tried, I found myself dropping balls in all other areas. Yeah. And that tore me down. That made me feel so inadequate and unbalanced. Yeah. That wasn't gonna work for me. And we had a conversation, he understood and was in agreement, and now I have success every day.
For sure. For sure.
Every day I'm successful in both healing, business, parenting, and marriage. Every day I'm successful.
I love the way it is now. Yeah, you're winning daily now. So yeah, I would say absolutely it's distracting me from the healing, because I would put myself through things that were just unnecessary, like staying up late hours, getting right back up, maybe going off for 3-4 hours of sleep, not focusing on self-care or working out or anything, just work. And I think that's the pressure of it all. And then there's a fear, because we had lost our home, because we were in the basement, because we were doing food pantries and all of those things, there's a fear that it's all gonna be taken away. So I'm like, I have to go harder. Every time I think about it or have that thought, I cannot rest. I would feel guilty sitting down to rest or to watch a TV or something like that, or even buying myself something. It's like the guilt would be overwhelming.
And after 15 years of that push and that drive, your body said, I'm done.
For sure.
And so then we went through a good 6 to 8 months
for sure.
of an inability to even get out of the bed. An inability to do anything. And it wasn't a mental situation. It was a physical body giving up. Right?
Yeah, no, that's true.
And so after that, then your focus shifted.
Oh man, for sure. It shifted fully. All right. To lose weight, losing over 100 pounds and working out, walking, moving, massages, and all chiropractor,
acupuncture. This man, he almost on my level with self-care.
I went to completely opposite, but I think just the business and the work of it did allow me to do what I wanted to do. One of the proudest moments of this entire thing is when I was able to pull up to my wife's job and be like, hey, that's it. You're coming up out of here.
I'm out.
You know, and because she had worked for that. Every idea, and we just told you all about from poetry to this, but there were so many other ideas in between there, you know, waking her up in the middle of the night and all that stuff. And then a job that she hates or being mistreated on, she's still going to every single day. And I'm just like, yo, don't worry, I'm gonna get you out of here. Don't worry. And just the misery of going there, but we need insurance. And there was a point where we were doing it and, we were still struggling. And we had to go and ask her job for a pay cut so we could get assistance.
Yeah, so we could get food stamps and childcare assistance.
I was like,
I had to be decreased in pay by 50 cents.
yes, we had to decrease her pay so going through all of that, working, knowing that she's not bringing in enough and all of these things. And that was another driver behind it. It's like, I can't let my family down. I just got to push. And I was willing to sacrifice my body, my health, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to push. And she hasn't had to work since. And I'm like,
Well, I mean, haven't worked for anybody else since 2019. I tell you, this has been a hard job. And I'm not saying this joking. Like, working with him and having him, even though, yeah, we're partners, he's still like the mastermind and the head of it all. We do not, like, we function differently, okay? I am detail oriented and structured and, it's been real.
well, we're here. And that right there, that's the work behind the vows.
So we want to thank y'all for watching our documentary, The Work Behind the Vows. It's been great giving you our story and the insight into why it is that we have started this, why we're choosing to pursue this, and why God has put this on our hearts.
We appreciate you all. And we'll see you on the next episode of our podcast. You can go visit the site below and go ahead and subscribe so you can be in tune with all the episodes.
The site below, above, on the sides. He's so used to old school social media where, click the link below. That might not be the case. I also want to apologize. He was a little long-winded during this segment. It should have only been like an hour long, but you know how he
Well, we had planned for 90 minutes, but hey, the thing is maybe this thing is what, 2.5 hours now?
He about to take us.
Some change.
Yeah.
But here's the
You
thing.
Reggie, 3.
Here's the thing. We were able to tell our story how we wanted to tell it.
Not that part.
And we appreciate you all for supporting us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
You want me to? No.
Can you just cut? She's
How you do the lip?
it's
It's a wrap.
Share 3 things that still make you go, wow, when thinking about me.
Okay, just whatever the first 3 things that come to my mind. One is when you get undressed, I still go, wow, okay, what we talking about? Number 2, I would say when you sing, I still am like, wow, okay, that's the same voice I heard when I first introduced you on the stage, and I'm like, okay, wow, all right.
You hear that at 99.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Stop singing.
No, and I love it. And number 3, I would probably say that we can still learn something new about each other, or let me take that one. That would be another one, okay? Because I was gonna say there was a couple of things I was gonna say. I would use this as an example, that you still entertain the ideas that I have and where I want what I want for our family and our marriage. And I'm still like, wow, she's still rocking, you know? And I come with some stuff. I'm like, babe, this is literally on some, babe, we need to do it. Where I think this was in Puerto Rico. After the video went viral, I'm like, babe, we need to do a podcast. And I talked to you like, okay, what's the podcast about? I'm like, this is what it's about. This is what we're going to do. All that. I hit up Jonathan. I'm like, yo, bro, I need you. Let's go ahead and let's do this thing. So you saying yes and not, it's just supporting the thing and not trying to necessarily talk me out of it or what. That's still a like, wow, like she still believes in me and the ideas, things like that. So I would say those would be my 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say my number 1 is the way that you still intentionally and actively multiple times a day try to reassure me of my beauty and of like how in love with me you are.
For sure.
Without prompting.
Yeah. For
right? Sure. And I'm like, boy, you know, but you have done that from the beginning and you still do that. And it's like, wow. He really loves me.
That's good.
He really loves me. I think the other thing that goes with that is when I see you parent our kids, daughters specifically because I was a daughter, right? But even our sons, like, you are such a phenomenal father. And like I look at your relationship with our daughter and a little bit of me is a little envious, like, you know, and we'll talk about that at some time. My dad was there, but not when I was young, right? And so it was like, man, like she's got such a good daddy. She has, you know, God.
That's good.
She has this man who is rooting for her.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, I don't know do you know how good you got?
That's good.
I'm out here trying to have him parent me right now. Look, I look like, tell me.
Yeah.
Tell me I can swim. Like, help me do that. You know, so that makes me say, wow. And then, I would say the third wow that I see, and it kind of is funny, it goes along with your, like, how I still entertain the crazy. 21 years you've been presenting. Y'all, his first crazy idea was called The Finder. Y'all, somebody put that in the comments. I'll let you know what The Finder was. This was in college,
right.
The very first thing. But he always has come with something. But the premise for that is this drive and desire to be a phenomenal provider.
Yeah.
Even when you were sick in 2023, and when we talked about in another episode, and I was like, I was solving it on my own. I went out and fell back on my degree and tried to figure it out on my own. Even in that, you were laying in bed trying to figure out a way to bring money in, and not just bring money in, but make it so that I didn't have to work and we could still thrive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, like your pursuit of providing is like, wow, like it's awesome, it's amazing. So I know how blessed I am for God to have chosen me as your wife. You know, we joke about it, and I'm like, well, you better know how, and you should. But I know how blessed I am for God to have chosen me as your wife, especially understanding I am no easy feat. Okay, I bring a lot, and you handle all of that with love and care and compassion and grace. So that makes me say, wow.
That's good work.
I like you and I love you.
That's good work.
Okay.
That's good work.
So let's get final thoughts about this episode, because, you know, that time